channel and they view this ability and this mentality inside. You know, I sit inside this office and I sit inside this place, you know, working, and you know, I can't express how inside of here I feel. You know, it's this place is amazing. That I might have an office to actually be able to work from at home. You know, I'm so grateful for the ability and the mentality to be able to sit down here and to put in that effort. You know, it's inside of this place that I start getting the energy readings going, and the ability to open up. You know, I'm sitting here and thinking about what motivation, what meditation, what inspiration means to me, and how I'm utilizing it, and what I'm working on and what I'm working towards. You know, I know that when we face off against challenges, the ability inside of ourselves starts to open up, and it starts to ask us what we're made of, you know. And I'm definitely, it's the days where things aren't working perfect that remind us of what we're here for. It's when things aren't working in our favor and they're not working the direction that you're looking for them to, that energy readings start to open up. It's when you start to use your gifts, your talents, and your abilities in ways that would truly give that part of yourself away that is the gift that you are, you know. And as I'm sitting here, as I'm getting these videos out, and I'm putting in the time and the effort and the ability to continue to grind, it reminds me that when we put our mind to it, that's when greatness opens up. You know, I'm sitting here with my podcast and my YouTube and my Facebook, inviting those to actually start to join in and to start to communicate and start to talk about energy, you know. And, you know, I'm sitting here in peace of mind that this place is worth it, you know. When I ask this question about motivation, meditation, inspiration myself, I'm reminded that the strength is already inside. The ability to achieve, the ability to utilize the gifts inside, and the ability to put the grind to path, to journey, is to truly become yourself. Is to truly utilize your gifts, your abilities, your mentality. And when you seek out that path and your journey, and you have to recognize what is meant for your path, what is meant for your journey. And, you know, I'm sitting here in front of the camera today, and I'm sitting here inside of this place, you know, recognizing that if we look within, we start to find the answers. If we look within, the solutions come, you know. And at a certain point, we have to decide what is positive in our life and what is ultimately going to bring you closer to your being, and what is going to bring you closer to yourself. And when you're going through challenges and when you're facing off against things, how do you open up your mind? And, you know, I think about a past where challenges were to just be able to survive. Challenges were just to be able to live. And honestly, I didn't know how to care and to, you know, reflect outwards with that kind of love towards those people. And, and I'm sitting here in this room by myself, recognizing that inside is all the answers. Inside is all the solutions and the ability within. And, when we spend that kind of time and we spend that kind of energy on ourselves, the ability to open up is worth it. And it's not just a daily, building yourself up it's not going to just happen today. It's not going to just happen tomorrow. It takes patience with yourself and finding the centering and finding the purpose that you're here for, and when you're facing off against challenges, what is it that we utilize on a daily? What is it that we put our mind to and that we put our energy into place to be able to utilize? And as I continue to sit in the sauna, well, it's actually once I have that, but as I continue to sit in my meditation room and I continue to work on myself, as I continue to grow inside and I start to truly use those basics and use those basic gifts inside, it brings reminder. It brings a reminder that simplicity is how we grow. Simplicity is how we expand. Simplicity is what it takes for us to become that thing that we want to become, to be that person that we want to be. When we're inside of ourselves and we truly look within for the answers and we look within for the solutions, how do we overcome those challenges? Are we focusing to that point? Are we learning? Are we growing? Are we not allowing the past to stop us and allowing us to be a part of the present? And I don't regret the things that I've been through. I know that what is meant for you will come in your direction. I know that positivity brings the mentality into place. And when we allow those things that are meant for us to move in our direction, the things that aren't meant for us move out of our direction. And, I truly felt that there was somebody out there who was meant to be in my direction. And the process of allowing that to happen, the process of standing strong within yourself for the things that you seek out after is what ultimately builds you. It's when you're willing to stand strong inside and here I am in this place and in this time where I recognize that I'm okay, that what matters is the strength that we have within ourselves, that if those people can't see past those things and actually see what true care is and true ability and stand up for themselves inside, then there's the work inside of them that they have to work on, and that I have been working on this inner being. And if they can't see that, then they'll move out of the way on their own. I'm building the strength of mind. I'm building the strength within that the ability opens up. I'm inside of this place where growth happens and where ability starts to become us, and the energy inside starts to flow. It's not just what goes on around us, it's what goes on inside. And when we allow the influence of others to affect our being, we lose a part of ourselves. We lose a part of what we are inside, the light that we have, And when we seek out inner peace, when we seek out inner journey, it truly starts to open you up in ways that you wouldn't expect. And I've seen in the last year amazing things happen. I've seen amazing ability and I've seen amazing mentality. And I recognize that what is important is that we're on our life's journey. What's important is that our stories are strong enough that you believe in yourself, and when your being starts to become that kind of light, the things that are meant for you move in your direction. And I've seen those things happen, and I have the faith in this creator of this universe that what's meant for me will come to me. And words are one thing. Ability and mentality and focus and knowledge and the ability to recognize that to be a true teacher means to be a student. It means to be able to utilize and to grow and to manifest, and that things aren't always going to work out perfect, and that's okay, because if you don't learn, if you don't truly find the way to go within to bring peace inside of yourself, then the things that are around you become greater than the person that you are inside. Then what? Then you're relying on the outside. Then you're relying on the things that the world would say, and it's written to be a part of the world, but not of the world. Not be of the world. And when our vibrations are raised to that point, this last year has taught me a lot about the present moment. It's taught me a lot about what it means to care, to love, to have patience. And that was one of the most difficult things for me to learn, was how to be patient. And I know that what is meant for me will come to me, and and I trust the creator of the universe. I trust the ability inside that what is meant for you will find its way to you, and that if you become positive inside, it will find its way to your being. And so that's why I sat down and I started to set up a meditation room, and I invited a friend to come to meditate with me. But they have their own challenges, and it's inside of ourselves where we grow. It's inside of who we are where what we are manifests. I'm not held back by others' challenges. I'm not held back by others' place of being. I am a blessing. I am a light within this universe, and the strength comes from within. And when you're sitting down by yourself, when you're sitting down in that place by who you are, and you're putting in that kind of effort, you're putting in that kind of mentality, it truly opens you up to manifest greatness in your life. It opens you up to manifest greatness inside of your being. And that's what we're brought here to do. We're brought here to be more than just okay. We're meant to be able to do the things, and to use the dreams, and to use the goals, and to use the purpose that we're brought here for. And when the journey finds you, it will find you. It will find its way to work in your life. It will find the way to work in your being. It will find the way to be who you are. And if you allow the things that are meant for you to move out of your direction, then the things that are meant for you to start moving in your direction. And I've come to realize that. I've come to realize that trusting in the Most High is going through the process. It's going through the challenges that we face off against on a daily basis. It's utilizing our being. It's utilizing our purpose. And what kind of challenges that you want to overcome. It's what we seek out is ultimately seeking after us. And are we able to accept that? See, a lot of times we fight that. We fight that ability inside of ourselves. We fight that ability inside of our being, and we fight that ability because we listen to the things that are on the outside. We listen to the people that feel like they matter more than our own being, and we lose the connection with ourselves. We lose the purpose of our journey and our place of mentality when we forget about our selflessness. And when you're being selfless and you're being inside of yourself and you're using your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your mentality starts to open up. And when your mentality starts to become greater than the challenges around you, that's when the universe starts to yield. It's when, like this morning I sat inside and I did meditation for an hour, almost an hour, and then I cooked breakfast before I went to work. In that place of discipline, and then to come home and then to get in front of the camera again and start to work on this place, work on this ability to be in this place of mentality, and it's quite amazing how what is already inside is sufficient. What is already inside can manifest, and it can grow, and it's quite amazing when you truly start to become that you're seeking out after, and it ultimately starts to seek out after you, and it will seek out within you. It will seek out the ability that you're meant to be on. See, and one of the hardest times is when the things that are meant for you are continuing, and the things around you are fighting you. See, not always are they going to work in your favor, but if you continue to put your mind to the ability to find the positivity, to find the mentality inside of yourself to overcome your challenges, you will overcome your challenges. You will find the place inside of yourself where your being starts to light up. And when your mentality starts to become that light, it starts to become that purpose. It starts to become that journey. And when you look within for the answers, I look within for the solutions, and it's taken me a long time to go within. It's taken me a long time to accept this part of my journey. And it's quite amazing when we face off against things and we become the solution. It's quite amazing when we face off against things and we become the reason, when we become the path, the purpose, and the journey. And I'm so grateful for that to happen. It's not every day that our challenges teach us, and ability to sit back and to learn and to grow and to manifest from within ourselves, to manifest from within our being. I see that a lot of the times the things that I've taught and that I've learned, they manifest inside, and I see that it I see that it becomes that place where we become that light, And, it's finding that part of ourselves where we ultimately start to grow. It's finding that part of ourselves where we ultimately start to become that kind of light, you know. So what is it that you're seeking out after? You know, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that so what would bring you closer to your being? What would bring you closer to your ability if you would look within for the answers? You know, and when I sit in front of the camera, you know, I sit in front of this space inside and I start to ask those kind of questions of myself. You know, I start to ask that place of focus, that place of knowledge, that place of ability inside, you know. As I see my WordPress grow, as I see my YouTube, Facebook, you know, my podcast grow, you know, we're almost at 1,000 listens, you know, we're almost at 1,000, you know, people hearing this message. And one thing that I've learned in the last year is to be in the present moment. You know, it's not just allowing the past to affect us. It's not allowing the past to change the person within. It's going beyond the challenges that we face off against on a daily basis, being who you are inside and using your mind, your being, your purpose to start to overcome your challenges. You know, I think that a lot of the times we forget about that part of ourselves. I think that we forget that we are a blessing, you know, and when I get in front of the camera, I'm reminded, you know, and I sit here and I spend the time and the energy in this place, and I spend the energy in this purpose and in this path. You know, it's not just for me, you know. I think of those that are facing off against things in their lives. You know, they're facing off against, you know, their positions and their homes and their purposes, and you know, and I think about how to be able to help those people and to grow within and to manifest outwards. And you know, I not just looking to be able to, but to actually affect others' journey because I came along, you know, because you came along, because what you seek out after is ultimately seeking out after you. I'm not just looking to become motivated. I'm looking to become meditation, to become inspiration. You know, and I see those out there from here to India to, you know, around the world. And I see that, you know, I see the fans that see this journey and they see this growth. And, you know, when we finally have an office here, you know, I'm grateful for my office. I'm grateful that I'm sitting in this apartment and I'm strong and I'm able and I'm mentally able to manifest. And might this story reach that person who might be going through challenges right now, that they might believe in themselves. I've become that light that is who we are. We can't change ourselves. We can look within for the answers and allow the reflection to radiate outwards. It's not going to bring you growth to exclude the things. It's not going to bring you close to let go of your being. It's going to bring you close to your journey. It's going to bring you close to your path to open up your mind. And when we're in this space of being and we're in the present moment, amazing things start coming your way. And it's inside of that place that it happens. It's inside of that place that your growth becomes you. It's inside of that place where your ability opens up to you. And I never thought that being in this space, spending this kind of time, spending this kind of effort would manifest the dreams that I seek out after. I never thought that if I put my mind to use, that the ability would open up, and when we see things working in our lives, when we see that, the growth comes from within, it comes from allowing those things, the ability to help you to grow and to help you to manifest and to start to use your gifts, your talents, and your abilities on a daily basis. I'm sitting in front of my podcast, seeing the reality happen that it doesn't matter what goes on around us. The strength comes from within. It comes from the place of being. It comes from the purpose within ourselves, and that the things that are meant for you will come towards you. You don't have to fight the universe. The universe can work in your favor. It can work within you, that your ability can be you. And I look at what is meant for me. I look at what is going to allow me to grow, and when we are growing, when we are manifesting, when we are becoming that purpose, and we are becoming that part of ourselves where the challenges start to be overcome, and so I am not looking to just be, I'm looking to be present inside of this being, to be present inside of this journey, to allow the journey to have its place, to have its purpose, and it's not just for me, it's for all those people that are following me out there, that are a part of this path, and inside of this podcast, inside of this, motivation, meditation, inspiration, it becomes a part of the journey. It becomes a part of what is it that you're looking out for? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to manifest? not just trying to overcome the challenge, but to be a part of the ability within, and to be a part of the ability to overcome, And, I hope that those that follow this message, would hear what I'm talking about. They would hear that, it's a place of work, and it's a place of process. It's a place of procedure to be yourself, to truly use your gifts, to use your talents, to use your abilities, to use your mentality. It's when we start using our talents on a daily, when we start using our mentality to overcome challenges, that we find ourselves, and I'm not just seeking out after the accolades, but really seeking out after being yourself. It's not just seeking out things just for you, but to start to use your gifts, your talents, and your ability. Trying to figure out how to set up this live chat in such a way that it will open up on my Facebook. I'm not just here for the growth. I'm here for the journey's enjoyment, and I'm here to become that. And it's quite a different story when you're alone. It's quite a different story when your strength is coming from within. It's a different story when what you're facing off against is also seeking out you. And what does meditation mean to you? I want to start getting some people out there to start to put in the ability inside. I want to start to build a community of people that are not just seeking out things from the outside, but seeking out from inside. It's not just enough to be able to do things, but how are we affecting those around us? What is it that we're doing on a daily? I'm curious to hear from you guys out there. I'm curious to hear what you dream of. I'm curious to hear what your life is bringing in your direction. And I know that my direction, my path is to be myself. I know that the ability within is to find who we are. It's to find our purpose, to find our path, to find our journey. And how do we overcome those kinds of challenges? See, it's quite amazing when we face off against things. It's quite amazing when you find a way to overcome those challenges. It's not just for others. It's not just for the things that you're facing. It's what you're going through and how you're finding your way through them. I want to inspire. I want to become disciplined to the point where challenges no longer have the way to stop. I want to become disciplined to the point where others become uplifted because I came along. It's not enough to just have purpose. It's not enough to just have the journey. It's not enough to have gone through the challenges. It takes much more than just challenges to believe in yourself. It takes much more than just the journey. We are here for a purpose. We have path, we have journey to believe in ourselves. I am not just on this path for it to pass by. I'm not on this path to become less than I am. I'm here to grow and to become that person within. It's not enough. And when we find that way inside of ourselves to where we are not allowing ourselves to have less than we are, it's when we are not allowing ourselves to be affected by the things that go on around us, that the things inside of us start to open up. So what is it that you're doing in your day? What is it that brings the light out inside of you? When you're doing these things, how does it open you up? What makes you express? How are you learning? How are you growing? I hear often that